what is real in each of us is at one with the timeless, universal reality in all. And in this perfection and wholeness, nothing remains to be done or to be known. Last time we were together, we noticed that if this is the truth about our real nature now, we might ask, why do we need to practice meditation? Are we not contradicting the non-dual principle by saying that we have to do something in order to realize what is already true? And we found that the answer lies in the subtle but important distinction between what we are in essence and what we experience. In particular, the distinction between our consciousness, which is our self, and everything we are conscious of, which is our mind. When we thought about this last time, we understood that the feeling of I am, which really belongs to our consciousness, somehow gets imposed onto our mind. So instead of feeling I am the light of consciousness, which is free and self-luminous, we feel I'm the contents of my mind, which is full of limitations and uncertainty. The path to freedom lies in realizing more and more fully that our true nature is the universal light of consciousness, which is never affected by clouds or anything it shines on. This is what we are discovering and affirming in meditation. If we have tried meditation, we'll know that it's not easy to stay centered in our awareness. It's not easy to avoid getting lost in streams of thoughts and moods, to rise above the tide of the feeling that my thoughts, my emotions are what I am. This is why sustained, regular meditation practice is needed. Even when we have understood in principle the difference between consciousness and mind, between self and not self. Friends, to help us with this, I would like to reflect with you further on a deep truth about the nature of our consciousness, the light of awareness. It is that our consciousness is not just the passive witness of all our experience. Consciousness is not to be understood as just an onlooker, as it were. When fully revealed, consciousness is also known to be the reality in us. It is what we ultimately are. Our consciousness and our being are two words for the same reality, our ultimate self. It may not be obvious that what we call consciousness is not only the light of all experience, but is also the real nature of all that exists. Still, this is the truth revealed in the direct experience of reality. Perhaps you have heard this before, but it is worth reflecting on deeply. Consciousness is the light and witness of all our experience. And it is not only that. It is what we are. It is our being. And it is the being, the reality in all, underlying the whole cosmos. This is why non-dual self-knowledge is total fulfillment. It is realization of our own awareness as identical in essence with the universal being called the Absolute, or God, or Brahman. It is being and knowing in one, without gaps, divisions, limits, or boundaries. This is the liberating truth. It is also here, at the heart of the human condition, that misunderstandings can arise. Because the light of consciousness is subtle and imperceptible, when it illumines the mind and reveals our experience, the feeling, I am this, which rightly belongs to consciousness, also gets imposed onto the mind. And this is why we have such a strong and persistent feeling that the mind is what we are. This is why separating consciousness from what we are conscious of takes ongoing inner application. But it is also why this effort is supremely worthwhile and rewarding. If we do our meditations in the recommended way, we make big, bold steps from constriction in the mind to freedom in universal light and being.